Our first inductee into the 2019 Maryville College Wall of Fame class is former Fighting Scot football player Roy Kramer. This 1951 graduate didn't have a long trek to the historic institution. As a Maryville native, watching his sister and three brothers attend the college before him. Those reasons made choosing Maryville College an easy one to keep the family tradition flowing. Kramer's time at Maryville College was cut short in the summer of 1950 when he received a call that his services were needed in the Korean War, where he spent his time until 1953 as part of the Tennessee National Guard. He entered the war as a sergeant before becoming an OCS and officer, keeping him in Europe during his time of service before he dedicated his service with the National Guard. Kramer spent 3 years filling his mind with knowledge on and off the football field. In the classroom, many professors placed a mark on the to-be well-known figure. He made a point to say that even though it's been a while since his classes at Maryville College, Kramer vividly remembers some great instructors. One such instructor was Jesse Herron, his English teacher, who called Roy tremendous and a lover of football. Kramer recalled that she was one all student athletes hoped to have in class because she straightened them out. Kramer then mentioned Dr. Hunter, his literature teacher, whose voice carried and was nearly mesmerizing while he recited famous poems. Kramer also spoke fondly of his science and chemistry professor, Dr. Griffith, and Dr. Orr, who taught physiology, stating all his professors had a lasting impact on him that he didn't realize until an older age. Those classes, and his time on the football field, under the direction of former head football coach Lombi Honecker and assistant coach J.D. Davis, really shaped Kramer into the successful man he became after returning from the war in 1953. The months before he departed, Kramer took some summer classes, working his way closer to a Bachelor of Arts degree before solidifying it with some transfer credits from Tennessee when he was officially back in the United States. With a degree in his pocket, Kramer pursued his master's degree in a double major of history and education at Michigan University. Kramer says he thoroughly enjoyed teaching history, a subject he had a sweet spot for, as much as his coaching gig, which he felt an itch for since his high school coach influenced him to back in the day. It seemed like more than the right direction for Kramer. Beginning in 1958, he coached 3 different Michigan high school teams to undefeated records in consecutive seasons, winning a handful of state championships in the process. Though his resume was quite impressive, Kramer was surprised when Central Michigan called and offered him a head coaching job in which he accepted and kept for 11 years, starting in 1967. His stint featured a stellar 83-32-2 record, including a Coach of the Year honor after winning the NCAA Division II National Championship in 1974. Coach Kramer says his coaching tactics were somewhat like Coach Davis, where he remembers the longtime coach as a very strict with a strong personality. Kramer, who played on the offensive and defensive line, recalled Davis's memory and how he would call players out weeks after they missed a block or tackle. Kramer grew to appreciate Davis's discipline and tough-minded nature. Kramer's laser focus and ability to lead winning programs caught the eye of Vanderbilt University. The Commodores were interested in Kramer in a different role, interrupting his round of golf on a summer day, asking him to meet in Chicago about the Commodores' Director of Athletics opening. He accepted his new role beginning in 1978, where he worked alongside well-liked Vanderbilt Chancellor Alexander Hurd, who Kramer called a brilliant man and friend who was there every step of the way, though Hurd was more academic-oriented. 12 years later, in 1990, Kramer took another first step by becoming the 6th commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, and like every place he had before, Kramer's presence was known. In his first year as SEC commissioner, 2 new members were added in South Carolina and Arkansas as the conference adapted to divisional play within the SEC. 8 years into leading the conference, Kramer was awarded the Distinguished American Award by the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame. During his time with the SEC, the conference won 81 national championships, the most ever in a decade by the league. He oversaw the distribution of a then-league record $95.7 million to its members' institution for 2001 and 2002. Kramer negotiated multi-sport national television packages with CBS and ESPN, featuring football and men's and women's basketball throughout the 2008-2009 season. Because of his influence, the men's and women's SEC Athlete of the Year is represented annually as the Roy F. Kramer Award. Every step of Kramer's life wasn't what he'd planned, he said. Instead, it's just how everything fell into place, dating back to his start at Maryville College where he followed his siblings' footsteps. From that moment on, Kramer took his own path, allowing his Maryville College studies to guide him into an accomplished life of his own. Ladies and gentlemen, to the creator of the modern-day BCS, and has been honored by more Hall of Fames than we can recognize, it is great to welcome back to the Highlands, Roy Kramer. Help me welcome this distinguished honoree to the Maryville College Wall of Fame.